Oops, let's turn that more this way. That should be better. Okay. Let's wait here. Hello. Hi. Hello. We're going to just wait for a minute. Let me pull this up and make sure that my volume is off as well. Okay, so let's see. I just want to make sure that are more people coming in? Hi, everyone. Hi. Okay, so I want to like have it up in front of me. Of course, I have to like close out all these other windows. And then that just gives us time to wait. I hope everyone is doing well. How is everyone doing? I hope that you guys are enjoying yourselves. Give me 1 second because I would like to wait for more people. Hi, more people are joining. Hello. I figured my fear right now is that it's like Friday morning, everyone's going to be at work. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Can you guys hear me okay too? Because I have my headphones in. Hi, from Michigan. I was born in Grand Rapids. Michigan, and then when I was 11, or no, when I was 7, we moved to Lansing. Geez, can I talk? And then when I was 11, we moved to Los Angeles, but originally from Michigan. So welcome. I hope you guys can hear me goody. I am struggling with my laptop. What the heck is going on? So I guess I'll just start talking. It really is because we're in the middle of Friday morning and I'm sure people are at work. So there's a reason why I came on live. So every morning, let's mute that. So every morning when I'm getting ready to work or, do my readings, I communicate and pray to get my day started. And I call on the Holy Spirit for protection. And Friday night where you are. And okay, good. So then maybe we'll get some people from the other side. um, and it was interesting because what was at the top of my head was it was about everything I've been through and all the battles and the trials and the tribulations, but more I kept like specifically yes, Rebecca. I kept specifically going over like people, like certain people that hurt me or did things against me that I didn't even know was happening at the time, right? And I feel like a lot of us have had those experiences where at least one person, if not multiple, because it is possible clearly to have those situations more than once, but where there was a person in our life that we truly genuinely were good to, and then we found out later they weren't. I don't care if it's a friend, a family member, if this was an intimate love connection, but what I found myself heavily thinking about was people that had gone behind my back and did things for no real reason. And I'm the type of person where when those types of thoughts rise into my inner matrix, I immediately begin to pray and question, why are these thoughts here? Do you want me to address this? Do you have wisdom and enlightenment for me on this situation? Because I know, right, because of the prayers that I say every morning, every day, I know that my thoughts come from above. I know who is controlling my mind. My prayer every morning when I wake up is, the Holy Spirit controls my mind, my thoughts, my vision, my hearing, my tongue, and lives inside of my heart. I repeat that 10 times every morning before I get out of bed. The Holy Spirit controls my mind, my thoughts, my hearing, my vision, my tongue, and lives inside of my heart. Um, so I know where my thoughts come from. So when they come into my inner matrix, I question them. What am I supposed to learn? What are you going to show me? At that moment is when I was like, okay, I got to get on live. Came out here to my desk, and you guys know I just moved. And I found this journal sitting on the floor over there. And I was like, hey, there's this journal. Let me read it. And it's all from 2021. Recently, there's a few excerpts from 2022. Like I have January 18th and the 22nd and 23rd of 2022, February 21st, and then I have March 9th of this year. Everything else, and there's not a lot, is from 2020 and then a lot of 2021. And there was a theme. The theme was exactly what was happening in my mind in the bathroom. I'm writing about more than one, there's at least two particular people that I was really, really good to that were doing things behind my back, that were betraying me. And that one of them was specifically, looking back, I can see it, was specifically putting spiritual warfare on me. And in these moments of writing, I can see my confusion, right? I'm not realizing it was this person that was doing it. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for always tuning in. Thank you so much. Hi, Julia. So I could see my confusion, but now in hindsight, with everything I've been through and the spiritual awakenings and the deeper connection with God, I was able to see like, oh my gosh, this person knew what they were doing. So from there, I opened up my Bible. I always like to open it up in the morning before I get started working, and whatever it opens to, I will read it, pray over it, and then begin the readings. Today, I opened it to Psalms 4, which I thought was really interesting, again, because Psalms 4 ties right in to where my thoughts were going when I was brushing my teeth and getting ready, and then this journal. And it basically says, how long, this is Psalms 4, verse 2. How long will you people ruin my reputation? How long will you make groundless accusations? How long will you continue your lies? You can be sure of this, the Lord set apart the godly for himself, and the Lord will answer when I call to him. Don't sin by letting anger control you. Think about it overnight and remain silent. That's been a theme. That's been a theme in our readings this past week. We've been talking about controlling those inner entities, those inner energies inside of you, right? Don't give in to anger. I just did that in a collective reading, I think, the other day for you guys. And so I wanted to come on. We're going to do a live reading. And I wanted to come on because I feel like right now in the collective, what's coming up is for us to purge. And we're to purge any resentment, any confusion, any hurt, any anger over what has been done to us or how we may have been persecuted in the past by others. Because in order for us to be able to continue this process of higher consciousness, ascension, healing, breaking open our heart chakra, filling ourselves with light, we have to be willing to go back to those dark moments. And Pisces, this is in your reading too for some Pisces. You guys have to kind of go back into these moments to be able to bring them forth and push them out. And the way that you push them out is with light. And light is love. Light is forgiveness. Light is that you understand and you see it from a higher perception. It's very, very difficult to do that work when you don't even understand yet why it happened to you, right? When you're starting at that base level of pain and all you know is that you want to get out of it, it can be very confusing because what happens is a lot of people get stuck in this darkness where, and I'm thinking to just people that I know that are still in pain and stuck from things that have happened 10, 15 years ago. Your mind cannot tell the difference between a memory and reality. Okay. You're welcome. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Hi, Brenda. Hi, LJ. Your mind doesn't know the difference. Your mind doesn't know the difference between if it's happening right now or if it happened 10 years ago. And so when you continuously repeat out loud into yourself what you've been through, who did what to you, how you didn't deserve this, and this was done to me. This was done to me, so that's why I'm like this. No, you're like that because you're choosing to live in the pain that you were put in however many years ago. You won't be like that anymore when you really release it. Because, see, and this is why it's so important for people to understand, because I get comments all the time that are like, I'll never forgive them. You know, they can rot in hell. Okay. Everything we think, everything we say literally comes back to us. So you can have as much negative, hateful energy as you want towards the person who did something awful to you. And I'm not saying that what they did wasn't bad, because I don't know everyone's situation. But I've been through some pretty rough shit, even as a child, right? I was sexually molested as a child by the babysitter's son. I mean, I'm just letting you guys know there are things that I have been through as well. But the key is for you to heal, for you to be able to reach that level of peace, you have to be willing to forgive the things that you don't want to forgive. So if you're still struggling, if you still don't know why is this taking so long, I cut that person out of my life, or I don't do this anymore, have you forgiven it? Have you infused it with love? Half of us are going to say no, because we sit there and we think that the proper way to cut off something and leave something is to still hold the knowledge, the wisdom of what this person did to us. Because if I don't hold on to it, then I'm not protecting myself and I'm not putting up a boundary and I'm not wrong. It's only affecting you. You holding on to what someone did to you, or how a situation made you feel, or how it broke you apart, whatever it is, you holding on to it does nothing for any other entity on this planet but you. And that's why you always see readers in the spiritual community telling you constantly that everything is inside of you. The answers are inside of you. They are. The answers are the pain. You have to get into your pain in order to get out of your pain. But we've been taught to pop a pill and swallow it, and I don't feel bad anymore. But what happens when we stop taking all this medication? You go through withdrawals and all your demons come back, right? Now, I'm not saying don't take any medication. Let's just all be on the same, because I don't want to hear any of that. Because I get it. But my point is, you have the power. It's really your free will to decide how you're going to handle a situation. What we need to learn as a society, as a collective here on planet Earth, is that we actually do have the power to control our own mind. We actually do have the power to declare what can enter your inner matrix and what cannot. But like anything, it takes practice. The problem in today's society is we have been programmed to believe that instant gratification actually exists, and that if I'm not getting it instantly when I ask for it, then God isn't real, because if God is love, why wouldn't he give it to me when I ask for it? God's a parent. He's a parent. And this is a school. Earth is a school. So we actually incarnate and come here to learn what we need to siphon out of our soul, of our spirit, okay? So that we can become more aligned with light, so that we can ascend, so that we're not stuck repeatedly coming back to this school, going through these painful lessons and cycles. This is another reason why things are genetic and hereditary, and why, when I'm always talking about someone has to be born into the family and then they have to have the courage to break it, it will keep continuing, because everything is hereditary and genetic. That's you can see it all in the Bible. People don't want to read the Bible, but it's there. It literally lays out and maps out everything for you. Um, so when your mother and your father have a child, and all of the stuff that they didn't address and that they didn't heal, and all of the stuff that their parents didn't address and they didn't heal, pieces of those come into you and your siblings and your cousins, right? Some of you in the family might have the same things that need to be healed. Some of you might each have different things that need to be healed. Another reason why the spiritual community always tells you stop looking at everyone else and look at yourself. You can pray for everyone else to find the light of God and to heal themselves. You can always wish love and light, But when it comes to you, you have to do the work in order to break free. Once you close out one karmic pattern, trait, perception, belief, way of living life from yourself, you've actually cleared that for your entire lineage, past and future. What does it mean for the past people who've already passed away and they didn't heal it? And what about their judgment? But you just cleared it. It's hereditary, it's how we're all connected. So when you clear it, their judgment on that is taken care of. You see what I'm saying? So, oh my gosh, I could go way deeper on that. But we'll have to save that for another live. So, what I was tapping into this morning is this collective right now, and because we're in Aries season, so we're starting a whole new, fresh zodiac. We're in Aries, it's the beginning. What we're needing to tackle right now, and what might be coming up like a fire inside of you, is you're ready to get started on your purpose. You're ready to get started on this path. I've done so much work. I've been constantly working on myself. I've been doing this. I've been doing that. Why don't I see a shift and a change? Because that big shift and change that you're looking for comes from you forgiving the thing inside that you don't want to even look at or forgive. A lot of you think that you've released something. Now I'm tapping into someone specific. Maybe it's most of you, but there is something here that some of you know right now what I'm talking about, and you're going, uh-oh, I knew this was going to happen or come to me. Others of you are like, no, I released it. I cut it off. I'm not dealing with it anymore. Um, it's still there. So you're going to need to go back to that, and see how I'm holding my hand as a fist. Whenever I hold my hand as a fist, that's my signal that I know that there's something stuck. There's something stuck in there. I know what mine is. It came to me today when I was in the bathroom. And I really, truly did believe that I had done so much work on it and released it. But if it's coming up, there's still something there that I have to. So I think the kicker for some of you guys is going to be, you have to learn how to forgive something without the answer that you're looking for. You have to show God that you have enough faith and trust and belief in the Most High that if I release something right now that I don't understand and I don't have the clarity and I don't have the answer for, it will come to me when the time is right. But he's asking you to lay it at his feet first before he can give you that revelation. And this is a test of your faith. This is a test of moving forward. For some of you, this is a deep pain and betrayal, very deep, because I'm being brought back to memories right now from very, very long ago that I do know I've worked through, but they're showing me this to give me an example of the type of pain that this situation or person may have caused you. Okay. So I have homework for you guys. Well, I don't have homework for you. The Holy Spirit does. You're being asked to sit and reflect with yourself this weekend about the way, okay, so about the way you not only speak to other people about your life situation or who you are or what you've been through, but also how you think about it. Because I'm tapping into an energy here where, and I say this with love, this is such a difficult job sometimes, especially on this platform, because people can be mean. But somebody here, and you don't even realize you're doing this, but you might speak a lot about, I did this and I've been through that, and so stop talking about it. That's really what Spirit is saying. Stop bringing the trauma back into your present life. This is now, that was then. But you are literally giving it life. You're giving it life every time you speak it and vocalize it to somebody. And every time, and here's what I'm saying, because I can feel someone's getting confused here. I'm not saying don't share what you've been through so that other people can learn from it, but you've got to have your testimony and your breakthrough and your closing of that cycle in order for you to express it and share it out in the collective. Why? Because if you haven't properly released it, forgiven it, and closed the cycle and received the revelation of why it happened to you, all you're doing is rebirthing that problem for yourself over and over. And now you have other freaking people, entities, spirits who see you in that light. See how, okay, This is why in the Bible, if you don't look at it with eyes from above, you're going to read it at this human level and not understand what God is trying to tell us. But it tells you in Proverbs all the time about how fools speak, and and how the godly speak. And as humans, when we read it, we immediately get defensive, like that's whatever. Anything that is telling you in your heart, in your eyes, in your mind, that that's whatever in the Bible, it's a negative entity, it's a demon that's trying to prevent you from understanding and learning the truth and light and way for you to heal. When it says fools talk and nothing makes sense, yeah, you're talking about something that you healed from the past. And now you're bringing it to life, because your tongue has the power of life and death. Your tongue and your thoughts create your reality. They shape who you are. They shape who the world thinks you are. They shape everything that's coming into your life. And we all walk around and we know what law of attraction is, and we know how powerful our words are and our thoughts are. And not even half of us are spending the day checking ourselves like, "Ooh, well, I shouldn't have said that." So when I see people comment on videos, not even just mine, but like all over, it's like, screw him, he can rot in hell. Oh, shoot. Do you know what you just did to yourself? We're out here thinking that we're only saying things about someone else and it doesn't mean anything. First of all, you just sent negative energy to another person. And it doesn't cancel out just because they did something negative to you. Now you just created something else that you're going to have to deal with. Because what's going to end up happening is you sent that to that person and it has to come back to you. Everything we put out has to come back to us in some form or another. So when I'm telling you guys, you need to ask for forgiveness, you need to look at yourself and forgive yourself. Some of my prayers constantly are, Lord, forgive me for the things I do not know. Keep me protected. Show me what I need to know. Show me what I need to heal. Show me what I need to control. It's not an easy task. It requires discipline. But you have to think about how a lot of people always say, I don't care how the world perceives me. Well, unless you're heavily, heavily shielded and you're putting on that armor every day, and you know inside that you're not holding grudges and you're of pure heart. Basically, if you're Jesus, then it doesn't matter what the world thinks of you. But it does if you're not actively doing the work, if you're not actively shielding yourself and working with God. It does. Why? Because all of those thoughts and perceptions and speeches that they may say about you to someone else is going to come to you as energy. Do you see what I'm saying? So if you're not putting on that shield, if you're not protecting yourself every morning, and you're just rambling and thinking whatever you want, and you're telling people like, oh, I've been through this, but you're not giving them the testimony, the light for the problem, you're creating a bigger problem for yourself. Okay. And that can go, I mean, we all do it. It's just something that Spirit is wanting me to explain on a deeper level, because I know that we can see things and hear things and just kind of push it to the wayside and be like, no, I'm a positive person, I don't do that. Well, let's check ourselves. Let's check ourselves. If we're trying to grow, if we're trying to heal, if we're trying to really have these breakthroughs and get ourselves out of cycles, out of broken relationships, out of, lack of finances, we have to do the work. Because what's happening on this planet is, if we what's happening on this planet, I don't even know what you're saying, Morningstar. Like, I've never even heard of that in my life, but I'll look it up. But I'll look it up. I don't know what you're talking about, but I appreciate you for sharing something. But let's go ahead and jump right into the reading and see what's coming up. My goal for all of you is to become one, is to heal yourself, is to work through anything that you have concerns about, is to release any pain. I think that the goal here is to always send love and light to others. And so when you're dealing with a situation where somebody may have hurt you, where somebody may have betrayed you, where you are holding on to resentment, or you're holding on to pain and you're not quite sure how to release or forgive it, you send it away with love, right? And then you also protect yourself. So one of my favorite things that I do, and I'm just being guided to share that, is I always, when I'm always sending energy back, and sometimes you won't know where it's coming from. Sometimes you're just gonna you want to pray for protection. But whenever I put on a shield, or whenever I pray and put on God's armor, my intentions are that anything that is sent to me with negative intentions or negative thoughts or negative beliefs, my intent is that when it hits God's shield, that it sends it back to the sender with the intention of hitting them in the heart chakra and breaking them open to heal and become connected with the light of God. Why? I don't want to hurt anyone. And if somebody is sending me something negative and painful for my demise, for me that's wicked, I don't want that for them. I don't want that even on my worst enemy. But what I do want is for someone to be healed, is for someone to be opened up, to see where they may need to look at something differently, where they need to heal themselves differently. Do you see what I'm saying? And so if we can set our intentions not to bring harm to anyone who's brought harm to us, but instead for God to go through with his light and handle it, it just makes me feel better as a soul, as a spirit, as a human, right? And that's my form of protection. You can do it that way if you want to or not. So let's go ahead and jump right into the reading. I still don't know which deck I want to use. Let's see. We're going to use this one. All right, so let's start with my blessing and prayer. Mother, Father, God, Divine Holy Spirit of the Most High, Lord Jesus, thank you for allowing me to be a clear channel for the collective in regards to their current life situation, soul journey, and soul path. I ask that these messages provide clarity, guidance, healing, and understanding, as well as a higher knowledge and perception of what karmic cycles, soul lessons, and generational curses they may currently be going through, about to go through, need to become aware of, learn from, heal from, and release. Lord, in all that you are, and all that you do, and all that I am, and all that I do, I live by your word and your word only. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. All right, let's take a look here. All right, you have the Knight of Cups, Ace of Wands. You have Death and Rebirth, Scorpio energy. You have the Two of Swords, and then you have the Nine of Swords. Whew, there it is. So, and I know I felt this. That's probably why I wanted to come on live. So you have the Devil at the bottom. So again, karmic cycles, right? Again, there's some type of temptation. This could be anything because it's a large collective. It could be a perception, a belief, but there's still a level of energy that is connected to you that has some type of control over your actions, your beliefs, how you're responding to the outside world, or how you're responding to a certain situation. It's still kind of being puppeteered by pain, by trauma, by darkness. Okay, and that's why the Devil is here on the bottom. It could be pertaining to you starting fresh because you have the Fool here, and then you have Temperance. You have the ability to shift and change the direction that your life is going. But there's something here from the past or from this devil energy that is really creating some type of hold on you. Like you're on the edge of wanting to jump off and start this new cycle. But again, there just seems to be some type of struggle and confusion because you don't want to release something, or you don't understand. I think it's just really you don't understand. And so you feel like you can't let go until you have clarity and know the answer. Okay. Because I see you kind of going back and forth, kind of just trying to figure out What is the best choice? What is the best option for me? All right, let's go up here and see. Knight of Cups, Ace of Wands, Death and Rebirth, Two of Swords, Nine of Swords. There is an offer. There is some type of opportunity that is currently in your energy. It may have already happened or it's about to happen because this is current energy. I do feel like it could be a love offer because it's showing through as the Knight of Cups. However, um, I really want to tell you because I'm seeing purple, that this is going to be some type of communication where somebody wants to not just offer you love and offer you a relationship, but this is a genuine conversation about what took place. Okay. And I almost feel like it's an apology of sorts. Like somebody wants to make something up to you, or it's an apology of sorts. Now, for some of you that are actively working within and dealing with yourself, I feel like this is going to be a download of maybe where you need to invest love into a situation to help yourself push it out. Okay. Ace of Wands is current for you. I like the Ace of Wands. So you have received something recently here. You have received some type of vision, some type of knowing. This is done through reconciliation. So you've reconciled a problem, a cycle, or you're in the process of fully releasing something that caused you pain. And when we release something that has caused us pain or trauma, we open up space for the light of God to come in and fill us. And when the light of God comes in and fill us, you get this Ace of Wands. And so in the 3D, a wand is able to manifest and create, right? I say this all the time, but so the Ace of Wands for me is pure energy. So you're now being granted the blessing, the reward to manifest and create whatever it is from your heart's desire because of the work, the reconciliation, the healing that you've done with something in the past. You're no longer holding on to it. You've made a new decision. You've chosen a new path. You've chosen to cut the ties of something that has had a very, very strong hold on you and has been preventing you from taking this leap of faith here with the Fool card and moving towards um, your divinity, your healing, your purpose, the path that you're supposed to be on. Okay. This was something that was not easy for you because, and I've been seeing this all week and now I'm seeing it again. This has to be, I have to be connecting to a collective of like, that's been going through this for 7 to 11 years. Because every time I've been doing a reading this week, I literally will see 7 and then 11. And I just feel like it's that 7 year cycle. I said this yesterday in a reading too, but that's what's showing up, a 7 or 11 year cycle here of just constant, well, you were closing karmic cycles. So, yeah, tumultuous trauma was rising, and you kept finding yourself in these patterns. And I think it took some time for a lot of you to really be able to say, hey, this is getting a little repetitive. Why does this keep happening to me? And so when we get to that point where we start questioning, why does this keep happening to me? Typically, that's where a breakthrough starts to happen. Sometimes, if you're still so enveloped and engrossed in the darkness, or if this temptation really has a hold on you, you'll question, why does this keep happening to me? And then that's where the victim mentality comes in and you get stuck in it, right? And then you see people just, like I was talking about earlier, where you just see people living in what happened to them all those years ago because it has a full control over their mental abilities. Um, so, because of this Ace of Wands, and you are going to be starting something new or creating something new, opportunities are going to be coming to you. Why? Because you have a space of fresh light, fresh energy. You've cleared something out that was blocking you and that was darkness. Your outside energy is death and rebirth. You have to let go of something in order for the transition to take place. Some people like to use the word sacrifice. I don't like to use the word sacrifice because there's a lot of confusion on planet Earth and what the English words actually mean. And the word sacrifice means something different to so many different people. But you have to let go of something. You have to release something and you have to end it and you have to be at peace with it and you have to love it the same, even though it's not good for you. And there was another thing that I just talked about the other day about loving the pain. You have to find the beauty in pain, the beauty in darkness, because darkness and pain and trauma, they're very, very beautiful. I know that that might sound bizarre, but they are, because inside of the pain and darkness is where you will find light and how you can pull yourself out of it. And that's what's taking place. This is a metamorphosis of sort. This is a mindset shift. You are in the process of learning how to build and create your own reality and your life. And it takes a lot of discipline and it takes a lot of hard work. So, whatever you have been praying for clarity on, whatever you've been working on specifically, because this is somebody who's you're in the crown chakra, you're in the third eye, you're sitting in your thought realm, and you're trying to communicate here continuously with God to receive something. That's your problem. You're here. He needs you to come here somehow. And I'm connecting to someone specific. You can't always communicate with God right here. Okay, because then you're not going to get what you're looking for. Because a lot of times when we're doing this healing work, a lot of times when we're doing learning how to heal, we get stuck up here, and that's where the battle is. You have to come down here and communicate with him. And sometimes that can be very, very difficult, because he wants you to communicate with him your deepest, darkest secrets. And up here, we won't really do that. We only do that when we're communicating with God here. And he wants you to communicate those with him so that he can help you see. Do you understand? So that he can help you then see differently up here. Spiritual warfare, spiritual battle takes place up here. So that is why we don't want to pray and communicate up here. Because entities tend to have their ability to get you more is in your mind, right? In your inner matrix. But when you start communicating with God from here, the answers will all of a sudden, you'll start getting clarity. They'll start pushing out. Okay. And that's what's taking place, because look at death and rebirth. There's going to be an expansion, a clarity, a transformation that takes place within your crown chakra, your third eye chakra. Right now, what you're supposed to be utilizing, especially with all of the color that I'm seeing here, it's supposed to be your throat and your heart chakra that you're activating and working with. So when you're activating and working with your heart and throat chakra, communicate directly with the Most High, with Haya Haya. Just continue to communicate with him so that he can then bring enlightenment up here. Your challenge is the Two of Swords. The inability to see what's really taking place. I think that for some of you, your fear is the unknown. Your fear is what's going to happen. There's a lot of outside chatter. There's a lot of outside energy and chatter that is trying to deter you from your path. And I think for a long time, these are the strings. These are the strings of karmic perceptions, beliefs, generational curses, and all of this outside talk that was kind of telling you. It's like the blind leading the blind, basically, is what I'm seeing here. And so now your challenge, your struggle here is to release those blind perceptions, those blind truths, those which weren't true, but those people who've been feeding you lies. That also comes with forgiveness. We're getting deep here. For some of you, these are going to be beliefs and perceptions of what the world is that were placed on you as a child, maybe from family members and parental figures, and that it's been preventing you from being able to see and know the truth of who you are, what all of this is. And that's your challenge, is removing the blinders. Okay, I see where this is going, because then we have the Nine of Swords. So let's go back to what we were just talking about with the blinders and something from family. And when we're raised, we just think the world of our parents, right? If we had good ones. So I'm connecting, to somebody specific, but everyone is a human learning. Not everybody has all the answers. Not everybody has the truth. Not everybody has the understanding. And anyone who was raising us did the best they could for where they were at in their soul and their spirit mentally. And I think that there can be a real pain, a real challenge in allowing yourself to release those beliefs that were placed upon you as a child. Because what does that mean? Does that mean everything was a lie? Who am I? You know, some people can really lose their balance when that starts to happen. And then you have the Nine of Swords here. For some of you, maybe it won't even be as far back as your childhood. This could just be something as simple as a recent relationship where you are now feeling like everything was not true, everything was a lie. Why wasn't I able to see clearly? Because you were still being controlled and monitored by dark entities that were trying to keep you stuck in a cycle. They weren't trying to help you. They don't want you to leave the cycle. Why would they want you to leave the cycle? You know? So you have the Nine of Swords. Listen, you are about to experience peace of mind. You are about to experience a breakthrough, but in order to get through the breakthrough, you're going to need to sit with that anxiety and that fear. So what I'm seeing is, and some of you know exactly what I'm talking about right now when I say this, there is a belief or a perception that you are like gung ho about, and I'm not, nope, that's how I feel. That's what it is. You need to go into that. If you can take the time this weekend to go into that one truth, that one perception, that one belief that you're holding on to, and you're like, no, this is what it is, and I'm not changing my viewpoint on that. Spirit is asking you, can you just sit in it for a minute? But sit in it in here. Don't sit in it here. And how do you do that? If you don't know how to do that, you're going to start out by doing the most difficult thing. If you've never done it before, it will be very difficult. You're going to go into it and you're going to say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I haven't tried to look at this from a different point of view. Please open my heart so that I may receive the wisdom, the guidance, and the perception that I need to be able to expand and open this up and remove any blockages. So you first have to humble yourself and allow yourself to enter into that pain without you can't have any thought of how this is going to go. You can't have any perception of how this is going to work out. You have to be clear and open when you're entering into a blockage, a pain. Okay? It's going to cause a little bit of anxiety because I think for someone here specifically, if you find yourself getting into that energy of what is true and what is not, you can cling to the light of God, but know that that's part of the process, part of the tactics, part of the fear tactics when you enter into trauma is that it likes to tell you that it's always going to be this way. It likes to tell you that you're worthless. It likes to tell you that you're not going to make it out. It likes to tell you that everything you ever thought was a lie, right? Because that's fear that can produce a lot of anxiety and a lot of fear inside of you. But what you have to remember while you're continuously working on this is that you're not up here, you're here, which means that you're working with God. So long as you call on his name and ask him to show you, you're protected and you're working with him. Will you still get sad and cry over things? Yes, but that's how you purge it out. Okay? And also allow yourself to be open enough to feel, to say, to see, to scream, to whatever you need to say to release it. But as you're releasing it, continue to love it and forgive it. It's not easy to do. But as you do that, you'll purge it out quicker. You'll purge it out feeling better. And once you purge it out, you'll receive a download or a revelation typically within 3 days. It could take as long as a week, but you'll receive a download or a revelation within 3 days. And that revelation will change your mindset and change your perception about why it had to take place or how it was holding you, what you've learned from it now. And then voila, you have a testimony, you've closed a cycle. And now, if you're speaking about something that you went through, you're not bringing the past back to life. You are now teaching light. Here's what I went through. Here's how I handled it. And now you're speaking light words. You understand? So I do see some type of anxiety, regret, and remorse coming up in regards to a situation, but that's beautiful because once that comes up, you're going to be able to release it. Notice the white bird among all of the dark birds. So there is spiritual wisdom and knowledge and peace that's trying to make its way to you, but it can't get to you until you allow it to come through the darkness. So it can only find you in the darkness, which is why you have to sit in it sometimes. And if you're looking for a quicker way for it to get there, you just call on the light of God while you're in the darkness. Don't just sit in the darkness by yourself. Don't just sit in the pain by yourself. Pray your way through it. The devil hates that. He hates that. Can't stand it. But then divine wisdom will be yours. All right, you guys, I have some personal clients and stuff, readings that I need to do today. And I'm so excited because, as you guys know, we moved and the school bus, I don't know why the school bus system here likes to take weeks. We moved in March 1st and the school bus didn't start picking up my son until yesterday. And his school is 45 minutes away from where we lived. So I was doing that drive every day, and his school starts at 6:45. So we were leaving at 6, driving in 45 minutes, driving back 45 minutes, then taking my other kids to school. Only had an hour in between because he gets out early since he starts early. Doing it again. Let me tell you, I've never been so happy for a school bus to pull up in front of my house than I was this morning. All right, you guys, I will be back. I will see you guys soon. I send you all love, and I thank you for tuning in. Bye.